Alright, a wonderful good day, and welcome back to my channel. It is God Shadow with Grixis control, and a couple of things. So, Pyromancer proved to be pretty good, but overall, 3 copies is a little bit too aggressive. I most of the time don't want to have multiples of Pyromancer, although they discard each other and therefore generate additional value, but value isn't everything all of the time, and I think Liliana compensates pretty well here. And then I was made aware that the exile clause on Seasoned Pyromancer is actually activatable at instant speed, which I didn't do in the last video, so thanks for that, guys. And everything else remains quite the same. The only thing that I want to switch out now is the Scorpion God, because in the mid-range games with Seasoned Pyromancer we have a really good tool now, and therefore I'm probably gonna go Damnation. Dead of Winter is probably better, but the best card would be Plague Marine. Don't have it yet, but that's just a little glimpse into the future. Then Blue Whites, I started playing it, was super bored pretty quickly, but I think that Archmage's Charm is actually pretty easy to be supported in here, even with I'm playing 4 fields and 2 Ghost Spores, so that is definitely possible. So Mon League, yes. Oh. Please tell me I just joined with Grixis. Alright. Good. Nah, because sometimes it's I think it's just the last deck that you clicked on in your collection, but I've already joined once with the wrong deck, and that was quite unfortunate. So the meta as it stands right now, it's pretty diverse. There's a lot of Valkuds, a lot of tribal strategies running around, and for the most part I attribute that to the friendly league players that have joined ranks here. And I don't mean that in a bad way, it's just that the competitive spikes are mostly just net decking the most successful decks. Also, I haven't seen the modern challenge results from this yesterday. Can I look it up somehow? No. So that's probably gonna be pretty interesting. Keep, we have Pyromancer on turn 3 or Logic Knots. Could also go with the Scalding Torrent here, but we would need to fetch that for a Water Grave, which I don't want to do, and therefore we're not going to be playing. So this is our Drowsy Tron, and I think I want to go. Oh no, this is not a Drowsy Tron. It's just common Tron. Still, I do think that I want to go with Relic here, despite the star also being relevant to a certain degree. If he bricks, which I hope he does. Ah, come on. So it's probably gonna be a walking ballista here. Karn. Well, that's unfortunate as well. Cannot counter it, so we let it resolve. Snaring Bridge, well. I don't know what he thinks we're playing, probably Death Shadow. But, Snaring Bridge certainly isn't such a big deal. Nimble is interesting. Now, if we don't draw a blue source, we probably have to go Snapcaster Mage and Thoughtseize. Yeah, because he goes up to 4 here. Fuck. Yeah. So what we're gonna hope here is that he will play the Walking Ballista for 4. And then call the Great Creator again. But we can't beat Nugan, so that one's gonna go. Oh, this is unreal. What the fuck? So we cannot attack, and we need 1 more mana to kill the Walking Ballista. And he also already does have 9 mana. So if he draws an additional mana source here, we're probably just... yeah, tower, and then we're dead. I mean, our opponent had an insane streak of draws here. Just insane. So Pyromancer out, Liliana out. Those come in. Surgical isn't really worth it anymore against Tron because of the new Karn. So I guess we keep that. Steam Vents, then into Swamp. Hope that he doesn't have a turn 1 expedition map. So that he plays into our Corner Squall. Gonna shock just in case a At least our opponent's playing pretty fast. Another Ancient Syrinx? Are you fucking with me? Dude. Let's see. So obviously would have had Tron here again, without even searching for it. I do think that blue is more important to us right now than having the blood crypts. Ugin and Karn. Man. I can't take this seriously anymore. This is just bonkers. Well, we're both out of cards in hand for the most part. I guess the one card that he still has in hand is not good, because otherwise... So could be anything. He started tapping already. But I do want to have the value out of a Nimble. Good. So now he will probably crack the expedition map in response, but we don't really have a good other play, and therefore I'm going to be aggressive here. He's not cracking the expedition map. Alright. If we had a counterspell, I would be starting to Alright, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna cycle Nimble. Ulamog's coming down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I think that should work out, right? This and there. And the expedition map cannot be cracked right now, and therefore fucker. Oh my goodness, this dude. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, 5 isn't super great, and he does have a tower in his graveyard. Threk Tusk. Sure. So the 5 life there are pretty irrelevant to me. What is not irrelevant is if we draw a removal spell here. Then we kill the thing and counter this trigger, because I don't want to deal with the other stuff that's come down there. Oh, come on. So that's his last tower. That's gone. He doesn't have anything anymore. My goodness, we've grinded through so much stuff. We just need one Kolaghan's command, or alternatively a Snapcaster Mage would also be alright. It's possible that he somehow took out Karn here, the small one, and just replaced it with Thought-Knot Seers. So we only got one land card left in our library, and I would really like to draw a Snapcaster Mage, or K command, or Cryptic command as well. So that is 6 out of 25. What else would be really good? Nibble would be probably also decent. Jace will also be great. So I have like 10 cards out of 25 that we're drawing to here. Whilst our opponents 3 Karns, Ugin, 2 Thought-Knot Seers, 3 Thought-Knot Seers, and Wulmok already gone. So either he's having a real hard decision here, which I can hardly believe, but All right. I think our opponent should have a decent amount of land still left in his deck. Well, apparently, let's see if it's a ghost quarter. If he actually does have, yeah, all right. So we should still be able to counter basically everything with 70 cards in our library, in our graveyard. Sure. But just to make sure, I'm gonna. Yes. Alright, he didn't use the blast zone here to get rid of the Jace. It's pretty important to me. Now, Ancient Stirrings is actually problematic. If this fetches an Ulamog, we probably die here. So I want to counter that. That's 4, 6, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 9. We need 2 more. Thoughtseize, pretty dead. Serum Visions, 11, right? 6, 10. Just for good measure, I'll do one more, just in case I was mistaken at some point. 6, 10. Yep. Alright, with these two at the bottom of our library, we should not be drawing any more lands here. Now he's pumping the blast zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With Expedition Map it's 6, so at maximum it could be a Wonkel engine or Karn, the Great Creator, but we should be able to block that off. Yeah, you don't have a tower anymore, friend. So that boat is shipped or has sailed. Still, we kind of need to. I guess he would have played something if he could have played. Now we're doing the same thing again. All right. No turn 1 play most of the time indicates that they do have natural Tron. I think I'm gonna go put all the nimbles on top here, just so that we, okay. Ghost Quarter. Yeah, I don't want him to cycle. But I guess then he has Corns and Thought Notsias in hand. So we're gonna counter this. Can't Deuce Will Baby Doll. Take 4 of the Thought Knot here. And bounce it if we can. I need to let this resolve just in case he does have something else. Which he does. So we're just playing counter return and we're still drawing a card, which is pretty neat. Obviously we're somewhat looking for Terminate here. Well, Logic Knot's also pretty good. And I also do want to have Rise Fall. So tapped and go. Yeah. Beautiful. Korn Liberated and Korn the Great Creator. Now we know what he does have in hand in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's the worst thing that can happen if we tap for, I guess, another Thought Knotsia? But this seems to be the best option for us. Because now he also needs the land sources here. So we cannot trigger Sanctum of Ugin right now. And therefore, I'm not going to keep up Cryptic Command here and rather go with the draw. Draw step, fetch for us. Blood Crypt tapped, return and discard. Could have also shocked here in order to put more pressure on, but we do have GG's motherfucker. I'll just take a quick break and then I'll be back. Alright, got myself a small peach. Now I'm ready again. Oops. Why is there no chat screen? We're gonna keep. I think something's not correct here. We shouldn't have such a big. Where's chat? So I guess this is gonna be a Steam vent. Oh, infect. Infect really has gotten a couple of new tools with scale up, and that really shows. Like, people have become pretty cocky when it comes to that deck. So I guess worst case scenario here would have been a Blighted Agents, but if he didn't play anything, I'm inclined here to just play Snapcaster Mage and Serum Visions. Because we still have Kolaghan's Command, and with Snapcaster Mage that basically costs the same. And I want to find Terminates. So next turn we can go. No, we can't. What the fuck is this? Viridian Corruptor. Okay. So we'll just pretend that we also do have a bolt. In case he has a mutagenic growth. Because otherwise our play it doesn't make any sense. Alright. So this all is good. Ricefall actually does have its spots, but sometimes it's just really bad. I think on the draw I want to cut down a little bit here, a little bit here. I want to have a collective brutality instead of that. We need to have Kolaghan's commands just because of what's the name? Spells Guide. Also want to have Flusterstorm. Probably don't want to have that. I want to have that. And yeah, for the most part, that's it. So sorry, that was pretty noisy. So the only thing I'm thinking about here, how we could be punished for playing Flusterstorm over the second copy of Countersquall, is a potential Nissa out of the board. A Nissa Vastwood Seer, I think. So we do have Blast Zone, otherwise I probably wouldn't keep the hand. But if we don't die on turn 2, which I wouldn't believe, I mean it's very possible. No, not with the Hogaak. Alright, so we're gonna kill the Hogaak despite having Blast Zone, because I want to slow him down. Turn 2 we also do have either Jace or Terminate, and then we have Snapcast Image, so it's a pretty good curve. Raftigus Cage, sure. So Blast Zone's probably still gonna be good. Polluted Delta will be going for a red source. I hope that he has more 1-drops here to play. No, he doesn't. Which is unfortunate because we have so much removal. I mean, we're pretty far ahead by now, but I don't like having no chat here on the side. Alright, that was a pretty quick match, but infect also doesn't really stand a chance against us. So, but on the other hand, infect's probably pretty good against most decks right now. Tron, blue-white control, especially blue-white control because that's so slow. Tron, of course, as well. Amulet Titan, keep. So I feel like we're running hot right now. Shouldn't say that because now we're probably playing against Dredge or Bridgevine or whatever. So I'm gonna go with a Water Grave instead of Speaking of the devil here, sadly he does not have any. So Spell Pierce is a good card, of course, but it is reactive, and I do not want him to be proactive in this game. I don't want him to see our hand because we're also pretty flooded. So shocking here seems to be somewhat awkward, but nope, nope. I of course want to pretend having a counterspell here, so that we don't run into a Teferi or a Narset. So we still know 3 of his cards, and this is quite interesting. So if we resolve the Season Pyromancer, then we're in a pretty good spot. If we don't resolve it, then we probably are in some kind of trouble, but I think it's worth the risk here. That does not appear like, yeah, he had an answer here. So I want to maintain the nimble and probably also want to maintain 1 bolt. So I'm going to discard these 2. Path, nope. D-Sphere. Could of course kill our own Pyromancer, but that's not really worth it. We still have ways of getting rid of that Detention Sphere, and then we just get our Pyromancer back. Here we already are. On the other hand, though, we know that our opponent does have spell pierce in hand. So we need him to tap out completely here. Oh my goodness, like without Chad here on my side, why is Chad gone? I guess for the most part this elemental here is just pretty annoying for our opponent. Now this one's also gone, so he does have 4 unknown cards. I'm not at all satisfied right now. Our opponent's not doing enough. Cryptic command, counter draw. Okay. Yeah, we cannot play Cryptic here, because we still know all the spell pierce in his hand, which is somewhat annoying, but we do have a Lightning Bolt in hand. So this is a casual 2-for-1. Not in our favor. Settle the wreckage. Okay. So by now I do not believe that he can actually counter. So apparently he also doesn't have a land here. He could also have forgotten to play one, but I would assume that he just doesn't have one here. So we still have Elemental to stop that Snapcaster Mage there. The problem is that I'm not doing anything here is that if he resolves it to fairy, then we're just pretty dead. Negates. Alright. See if you can counter this one as well. Okay. Last zone is very important. I expect this Nimble to die at some point. Therefore, at some point might be a little bit overstated here. Just instantly dead. Alright, what do we want to have? Probably an island. Still a pretty good trade-off there for us. We also still have Torpid and Blast Zone, so those are two important. Yep. That's also an alright trait. So now, I don't see how he wants to get rid of the Blast Zone here. Because he can't do it in speed if he wants to. Oh my goodness, this just it's really annoying. I'm gonna discard the Jace. And although, like, it feels like I should be discarding the Terminate, but I think I'm gonna go with Kolaghan's Command instead. Great, another Jace. Just because that was a sucker punch. So obviously he could have another Snapcaster Mage and run Yep. So now we're actually making use of the instant speed ability here of our Pyromancer, which is actually pretty neat. Like, this is really sick that we can do that. And I bet our opponent also didn't know that. One, two, three. We still have Cryptic up, although we then, of course, again won't be able to get around that Spell Pierce. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2 up. Yeah. So if he wants to raise, which, like, I mean, he needs to do something. We need to get him down to 6. So our elementals are still important here. Because then we have lethal through our torpedoes that we can both activate. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. 1 mana short to actually also be spell pierce proof. Alright, so we might be thinking about pathing our token here. Since our second spell, our second cryptic command will always be caught by yeah, so he was thinking about that indeed. Serum visions, sure. So you must have at least 1 or 2 clunky planeswalkers in hand. We have 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 mana. The spell pierce is still something that I'm not fond of. We don't have a Snapcaster Mage or anything like that in our graveyard, therefore. I guess we're gonna try our luck here. Aside from the spell pierce, I bet he has at least 1 dead card in hand. And he can also not risk another snap. Alright, so now we lost the fight here. But if he doesn't come up with a solution right now, then we have lethal on board without even having to draw a Well, that doesn't really help. Not yet, at least. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So path to exile or bust. Great. So we need a restructure here. Don't want to have Lily. Pyromancer. Probably want to have Flusterstorm. How much can we do on instant speed here? I mean, Jace is great, but how low are we gonna go? He's very reactive with his colonnades, so I might be inclined to actually get rid of that Terminate and still go with Pyromancers instead. It's not really gotten better. But I'm also not willing to go down to... This is just a joke sometimes. Only basically need one more land and we're functional. Lord. Oh my goodness. Like, give me a land and a Jace, and our opponent doesn't have a chance with that awkward hand. But at least... Oh, come on. So let's say by turn 5 we do have an answer to that Teferi. And we probably will. I hope. But for right now, we're just getting rid of win conditions here. So now we only have a single island. Oh, my goodness. Modo, Modo, Modo. Cryptic. I can't believe this. This is not normal. Well, something, but the worst possible land in our deck here right now. Come on, start hitting, man. Right? Yep. Come on, deck. Any land, any land. This is really tough to endure. Now he's gonna counter it. Oh man, that's really a disaster. So now we somehow Lol, now he's not attacking anymore. Alright. I guess. Oh my goodness. This is yeah, we just lost here. So back to where we started. Do I want to have Grim Lavamancer? I mean, if Lavamancer is being hit by either a bolt, a path, or something like that, then it's just really good value. I think I might be even cutting one Flusterstorm for it. Could have also played with 61 land cards, but not after that game. Alright, so we can protect our Jace. We also still have 12 minutes, so time shouldn't be an issue. Alright, this is good to know. So if we don't take the spell snare, shit. What are we gonna do here? Narset is a big problem. Yeah, I think we're just trying to get him stranded. Fuck you. On the upside though, at least we're getting our Jace out. And potentially a land for our troubles. Problem is that we simultaneously... Oh. We get to have it one turn. Alright. So I'm gonna get a blue source here for the path. So that this can then fetch for red. I'm gonna keep up the nimble until end of turn. Okay, so no mana for you. See if you can counter our stuff. Well, that's unfortunate. On the upside though, we have another Jace. So right now, of course, we would really like to be drawing into one of our fulminated mages. That would just be amazing. Ooh, all of this is pretty annoying. So it's either snap or Vendilion Click, I believe. Click is problematic because we don't really have a good tool to deal with it. So I'm gonna take the click. We also need to be a little bit cautious with our life. Fucker. Gets its Fairy Hero Dominaria, which probably won't be able to cast for quite a while. My fucking god. The good thing is that Narset, whenever he activates her, is running past all the lands. So if he didn't get a land here in his turn, then he won't have one. Yeah. Next turn as well. but he did, of course, grab. So we need to fix a couple of things. So I think these are the 4 cards that he still does have in hand. I'm gonna fetch for 1 here. Then I'm gonna go Serum Visions. Alright. With these cards still in his hand, what do we want? We probably don't want either of these, right? I think we don't want either of these. Alright. So verdict, which will be, we got 6, so return, and could also go with Snapcaster Mage, but right now I'm just gonna go with Nimble. So I expect him to actually have to activate the Field of Ruin there. Just, okay. I was gonna say just so he can reshuffle his library. That's at least what I would have expected. So no lands. Yeah, pretty decent. But we're drawing insanely many lands again, which of course also isn't great. But apparently it doesn't have a way here to get rid of our stuff. Now, yeah, that is gonna be your downfall. You dead. Dum. 3-0, what up? Obliterating people since, well, actually last year. Sorry for the eating noise. All right. So we won't be casting our 2 veto ice. So yeah, he's here. 3 5-0s in 5 days or something. I'm quite sure that we're playing against Bridgewine or something really degenerate here. I'm gonna keep just in case it's humans. Stitches Supplier. No, Gravecrawler. Which is, well, it is the deck that we thought it would be, so. Nothing really new about that one. There's not really anything that we can discard here, so I'm just gonna bottom it. This matchup is, I mean, if our opponent doesn't break 2000 here, then it's just no winnable. Unless he's playing some weird zombie combo deck. And this matchup is also not winnable with every graveyard hate in the format. And, you know, well, I'm not gonna complain about it, everybody knows it. Everybody except Wizards, apparently. Yeah, that's Altar of Dementia. So next turn... Oh, man. So he doesn't have a discard outlet right now. He wants to have the cards in his hand in his graveyard, therefore this is just not gonna do anything. Except for if we target ourselves. So K-Command can get rid of Altar of Dementia, but here we already have a problem. I can also sack it, so there's Vengevine. Sacks Gravecrawler, then recasts Gravecrawler from the graveyard. Or, yeah, it's like, there's just no way we win this. Just not a way. So Liliana, super bad. Surgical is alright. We can basically throw away all of our discard, but I'm gonna keep a little bit. This one goes Jace. Damnation. Lavamancer. Well, we need Terminate for the Hogaak dude. So I guess we're just gonna cut our most of our other counter magic here. What's really curious to me is how people actually defend these types of decks. I keep saying that they are right, which clearly they aren't. So I think we're gonna start at One Island. That of course won't let us cast Terminate on turn 2. But on the upside, we can still go for a Blood Crypt or whatever. So we won't be able to cast any of our stuff for the foreseeable future, and that might already be too late. But in order to win this game, we need to have a Kalitas. Bloodcast. And a Gravecrawler. So both permanents are problematic. in the sense that Bloodgas is going to be triggered by a land drop, but Gravecrawler is going to be triggered by just having a zombie in play, so I'm inclined to actually go after the Gravecrawler here, because that's a main engine point for our opponent. And also it gets cast and not... Right, so he doesn't have a second mana, which is good, but he does have Insolent Neonate, which is bad, and he also does have Thoughtseize. Nice. So I'm gonna say, I mean, the Thoughtseize is gonna take our Kalitas, but Kolaghan's commands can still get it back. So I'm gonna say, if we were actually able to get a second black source, then I think that we actually have a chance. I'll probably be proven wrong, and this is just due to the fact that we did have a Surgical turn 1, he is stranded on 1 mana, and we have Kalitas in hand. Otherwise we don't probably already be dead here. So come on, black source. Red source is actually doable in the short term, because it somewhat insulates us against that Thoughtseize. So now he's getting Altar of Dementia. Altar of Dementia. That's also bad. So Kalitas can break up his old combo. Yeah. Probably another Stitch of Supply here. Never in my life wanted a Black Mana source as much as right now. That Hogaak is castable. And that's... I mean, he has a board already of 6 power on turn 3 with having missed a land drop. And now he's adding another 8 with trample to it. And he will also get Benchvine back. He should have done that beforehand, because, yeah. So that actually wasn't well played by our opponent, but still, like, this is just bonkers. This is just insane. Yeah, we actually get the black swords, which is great, of course. And they can also just replay it all the time. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but of course we would have needed to block that Hogaak there, and we just die then. So it's 5, 2 more cards in his graveyard, and he's just playing Altar of Dementia here right now. And then he'll be able to replay the Hogaak instantaneously. And we're dead. So our opponent is really not playing this well. I do not understand this as also. Like, obviously he's dealing us a great amount of damage here, but does he have another creature? Another one drop? Yeah, sure. I mean, can still just sack these two, this one and this one, to Carrion Feeder, and then on the other hand, though, he already attacked. Oh, we shall see. If he yeah, sure. He also does have a neonate. This is so bonkers. So fucking bonkers. And it has trample. Like, we can't even jump block it. I'm so upset. So upset. Just gonna eat it with Carrion Feeder, but that wasn't the deal here anyway. That was his 5-0 here. Last season, it was a dredge player leading the trophy board. Now we already have Bridgewine and multiples, because all the rest there that you can see here, multiple of them are also playing Bridgewine. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. What might our opponent be playing here? 8 rack? Interesting, 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 interesting. Oh my goodness. Oh no. So that probably means if we're gonna fetch here, we're gonna be hit by an archive trap. Our opponent also kept a really awkward hand there. Just one swarm and one field rune. So what I'm gonna do here is lightning bolt the thing. In response, he will probably field of ruin us, which I'm counting on. Right. It's more important to me that I get rid of the trigger than that. Okay, cryptic command, of course, is important for us in the matchup. So Visions of Beyond is not yet on. This is the bad. This is bad as well. So we're gonna take Glimpse for the time being. So I think I want to have both on top. On the other hand, though, Season Pyromancer. No. I'm gonna go ahead here and fetch Shock. And go with Snap Thoughties. So Crypt Incursion can become problematic if he gets more creatures in our graveyard. And we almost have no counters anymore. Okay, so just one draw. If he has... Okay, weird. So... So we could be going with surgical as well. I think I don't want to have rise full. And I also want to cut down on the Jaces. It's good value, but... So he doesn't know about our Pyromancer yet, which is important. And I think I'm going to go this way. Flusterstorm might be a decent card, but not necessarily. In this spot, probably Spell Pierce would be better. But I'd still be playing... Oh shit. We're playing against Mill. I should have, of course... Alright, we can kill that on turn 2. Let's have a look. Narset is... sucks. But not too bad. Alright, a lot of lands that will... No. Mesmeric Orb actually is a problem. So now that I'm pretty safe, that our opponent... I'm gonna fetch for a Blood Crypt here. Still does have that Narset, which we cannot get rid of right now. The best roll there possible for our opponent. Don't know what he has here. Hogaak. So let's have a look here. Another glimpse. Is there anything we want to go after here? Probably not yet. Fail push, okay. Well, that doesn't seem to be too good. So obviously I just should have just put more cards into our deck. Then our ratio isn't good anymore, but I'm gonna discard the Stern Visions. He's probably just discarding a land, yes, and I think that's a land that we knew about. Still have 40 cards in our deck. So Liliana takes care of a hero and crab. So I think right now I would just want to be going after Ashiok. Have a look at his hand. Oh. Well, that's not a whole lot that you have there, friend. So 4 archive traps for which we or he has to fetch. For surgicals, so basically we're just fighting the mesmeric bomb here, right? There's a Kolaghan's command in our graveyard already. But if Liliana takes up to Alright, let's get rid of the Narset. Draw a card, hopefully land. Not a land, but... So obviously, we'd love to have the K command here. We can only counter one of the triggers of Mesmeric Orb. But we need to take up the Liliana. I think we just bottom both. I'd want to have Kolaghan's command on the bottom, and we're just not tapping anything anymore and try to play around Mesmeric Orb that way. We're losing way too many lands. Already 5 of the fetchable lands. Now he's only gonna get 1 card out of a graveyard through that surgical. We're banking big time on our Liliana here. So Blaststone is actually pretty great because we don't necessarily have to. Season Pyromancer, okay. So our mana situation isn't particularly great. And we only have 27 cards left in our deck. Nimble was actually what I wanted to have here. I am gonna take Liliana down here. This might be a mistake, but this way we get him down to 2 lands instead of 3, which is huge in my opinion. And I also want to take up Liliana first again, because that appeared to be a possible... Do we even have another red source? I don't think so. I think I put a warrior grave on the bottom. Yeah, I was an archive trap, so phenomenally played around that one. Wait, can't give the turn away yet. I need to fetch before bad things happen. So really is problematic here. Now we have enough mana. We don't have Snapcaster Mages anymore. And we somehow aren't drawing any... I think there's only a mountain here left as a red source to recast. Okay. Just trading blows here. That's bad. That is really problematic. And that will probably cost us the game. There's the mountain, so that's gone as well. Can't use Pyromancer. Yeah, that's just stupid. But okay. So right now I think... I don't actually know how we win this. Do we have a nimble left? 1, 2... Yeah, so there should be a nimble left in our deck. But other than that, like our tar pits are gone. Yep, and this one we need to counter. We want to have a chance here. At all. Five turns. Nimble needs 5 turns to finish this. All of our lightning bolt. I would assume that one is gonna kill us. No, we also still have... We still... Ah, come on. This is unreal. Alright. Yeah, fuck off, opponent. 10 more cards for you to deal with. I think that one was bad. Alright. Keep. Alright, so it appears that our Jace at least will survive one turn. Alright, that was one turn. Please don't fetch. Don't. Yeah, alright. So I think I'm gonna wait here one turn with that Grim Lava Mansa. I want to get down our Nimble, especially if it doesn't have another fetch here. I guess he's gonna take the Snapcaster after all. See if he does have another. No way. This dude is so lucky. Insane. Alright, so on the upside, we do have enough blue sources for Cryptic. On the downside, though, I think we're gonna wait one turn here with Pyroman, so we put him down to 8. I'm not sure how many more, because I don't want to waste the Lightning Bolt. I don't want to throw it away. Also putting the Blast Zone to 2, just in case of Mesmeric Orb. Shit, another Lightning Bolt. Well, same procedure. I think he's also playing this. Yeah, he's playing these spells, obviously. And Seasoned Pyromancer is double good, not only because it just generates a little bit of card advantage for us, but also now we're taking this to the end. Just one more untapped sap here. So I'm gonna try to protect our creatures as good as possible here. Just get rid of them. And that is Desperation. That's also Desperation. Looking for a fail push here. There we go. Grim Lava Mansa MVP. Alright. It was a good week. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. It was actually quite great. And of course, without this little fucker here, would have been a 5-0. But you can always win. So this is the last week for the weekend, and I'll be playing GP Kopenhagen next weekend. So I won't be uploading any videos that time around. Format is limited though, so don't expect any breakout Grixis shell there. And yeah, deck looks fine. Bridgewine's unbeatable. What else is new? Have a good weekend, guys.